Let's bring in our guest for this hour. Joining me to discuss, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor David Bruno, and litigation trial attorney Rich Schoenstein is with us. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. And I want to get to the big news of the day. Normally, you're my verdict crew, right? When we're together, we get a verdict. Yeah. The verdict came in a little early. Actually, I won't call it a verdict. It was a hung jury in the TreeHouse murder trial. David, I'll begin with you. I want to get your reaction to that. It was certainly, the prospect was out there of a hung jury. It certainly, all of us seem to think that the way the evidence came down, it was very possible, and it came true. It was a hung jury.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were joking around the office, too. We were listening to the testimony, and everyone knew I was coming on. But, Mike, look, pro se litigant right there, he who represents himself as a fool for a client. And there was a lot of opportunity for a really experienced, competent criminal defense attorney to get in there and make the points of lack of identification, make the point of the alleged victim, one of them, testifying that it couldn't be that man. And I think that he really did himself a disservice. And he also is way out there in front of our cameras, which we appreciate here at the Court TV, that Mr. Tucker comes on and gives his points. But I'll tell you what, prosecutors, when they got that mistrial, they knew exactly what they were doing because they're retrying him. And part of that is probably because all of the press that he's doing verbally outspoken on the cameras.
Yeah, I think definitely that's part of it as well. And finally on this case, David, who has the advantage if in fact this does go to a second time around? The defendant told our reporter, Matt Johnson, that he wasn't 100% sure. He thought he might be representing himself again, but he wasn't 100% sure. But he has learned a lot this first time, and the learning curve has been very steep for him. I wonder if, we tend to think prosecutors have an advantage the second time, but I wonder if in this case it's a little different.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, generally speaking, prosecutors have the advantage because they get a sneak peek at what their weaknesses are and what the defense is really purporting. But here, prosecutors, they gotta live with the lack of identification and the problems with the victim and the identification in her testimony that it wasn't him. I don't think it's going to get any better for the prosecutor. That's why I agree with you guys. I think they should seriously consider not moving forward with another trial.
All right, let's turn.